So I like to remain politics free as usual, but apparently all projections say that we're about to ruin Mitch McConnell's year, and I can't stop grinning because fuck that guy. Except don't. So apparently, Brett has actually met his wife because of his job, and I was like, how does a woman in such a high-powered job, how does she have such low self-esteem to stay with that horrible, horrible person? Is he even a person? Like, he's so inhumane. I can't even wrap my head around what a terrible creature that thing is. Like, who let that exist? Um, anyway, we are back for Main Story Wednesday. We are still in Stormblood, which I have been told is not that great, which is now making me angry because everyone's like, "Oh, well, once you get past ARR, then the story's fantastic. Just get through ARR, and then the story's gonna be great." And then the other day, I was saying, "Oh, I'm still in Stormblood," and they're like, "Yeah, that one's kind of it drags a bit. It's kind of meh." And I'm like, "Are you serious? Is this what we're doing here? Is this just gonna be every expansion? It's like, oh, just wait for Shadowbringers. How about you just give me my Catboy back? The little red-headed Catboy, with the miscolored eyes. I'll just take my Catboy back, and y'all can stop telling me the story will get good. We'll just take the Catboy back, and the story will be good." Also, good morning, Parker. Aki is here, but he is not in camera because he's a little brat. Karina has been in and out. She keeps wanting to sit in my lap, and I keep going, "Karina, no." And so that's sort of how our morning has been going. And actually, I am gonna just AFK right here, even though I literally just started. But my back is hurting, so I'm gonna go get my back brace. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Also, one more note before we get started. While we are all obviously delighted to be ruining the rest of Mitch McConnell's year, I have to mention that the only reason this happened is because the black community got out and voted. This was 100% not at all done by white people. It was 100% done by black women. So make sure that you are working to be a better person in terms of social issues in your life. And also, keep in mind that any acts of feminism that you engage in, really examine them and make sure that it's feminism for across the board and that you're not just supporting white feminist ideas, which are actually quite harmful to a lot of other people. So, that said, we are going to get started with the cutscenes. Also, I managed to refill my water bottle before I sat down, so we have that at least. Also, I heard back from the printer and they were like, "Hey, can you make these changes because your stickers aren't going to cut well?" And I wanted to cry because there are so many stages, there are so many steps between me being able to change it and then being able to resubmit it again, and I'm just like, "Yeah, give me a minute." But right now, I'm waiting on someone with Photoshop to convert them to CMYK because I don't have CMYK and I can't convert it. So once I get the files back from Bread, I will send it back to the printers and hopefully those will get started. Yeah. Like I'm definitely not unhappy about getting the email. I mean, I'm unhappy at the situation. I'm not unhappy at the person. I am very glad that I picked them. Like I said, they came highly recommended and it is, an independent shop that does this. It's not like a big company. It's just like one person and their printers. So also, a lot of their example stickers are, LGBT positive and then fandom stuff. So, it's this is someone that I want to support because they're a part of the spheres that I run in. But I mean, I wasn't expecting to get the stickers back even by the end of this month either because I told them specifically, take your time. I have no schedule for these. Yeah, Parker beat you too, Brad. Kane is always the first one at streams. Like always, always, always. Well, Brad, I have a schedule and I stream on a schedule. So you could just show up at the schedule time. Device refresh? In case anyone is wondering, I specifically tagged Hama because he came into my chat last week and said that he really liked watching people go through the story for the first time. So, oh, you beat them. Good show. I cannot sigh hard enough for that, Kane. That is just ugh. I do like Tataru. She's the only one that the game was like, you like this person, and I was like, you know what? I do. I do like Tataru. Ugh, school board. Tataru is really getting into the spirit of things. Yeah, she's adorable. She's great. She designed everyone's clothes too. Oh no, it's gone, isn't it? Oh, Tataru. I feel that, Kane. I'm so sorry. Guys, we're in the middle of like a huge war against the evil empire. Are you sure we have time to be fucking around with these love letters? Like, seriously? Also, as a reminder, we are actually, oh, I don't even have the ticker up. We are at, yeah, I love Leon's pants. Her whole outfit is great. We are actually at 98 followers. It just didn't update for some reason, so whatever. Also, there is like a Pikachu doll that is actually two Pikachus, and they're holding they're holding like a bundle of roses, and so, oh, nice, Kane. So that's what Nerd and I are gonna have as our Valentine's Day thing to ourselves. So, you know, as per usual, if the giant Mareep is not back in stock by the end of the ticker, I am just gonna get other Pokemon merch with the money. Because I cannot be stopped, and I want those Gengar joggers. So Kane, once you get to Stormblood, in this zone, a bunch of the, not the rifts, what are they called? The things that scale you down, that you fight, and you group parties, you know what I'm talking about. Those give, most of those give you extra XP too. God, what's the word? Fates, yeah, fates. There we go, overworked porter. Whoops. Oh, that was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. I had no faith in this quest. Also, can someone smack bread for me? Also, I made a new emoji. I hope you guys like it. It's basically just for me, but it's here now. I do love Zagreus. Sadly, that is all of the emoji slots I have, even including ones that only I get to use, so. I love Tataru, she's so cute. I mean, that's a good choice. It's a good choice. Oh no, Kane. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare. Yeah, there you go, spaceship. Hey, Mama. Yeah, I haven't been playing Factorio lately because Velo has been pretty sick, and so she's mostly only been playing like in the evenings. And if I'm gonna play Factorio all day, I gotta get started way earlier than that. But she's doing a little bit better now, so hopefully next week there will be more Factorio. Um, Obviously tomorrow is gonna be more Gravity Shift, and then Friday is gonna be Three Houses. So that's what the streaming schedule is for the rest of the week. How Tataru got her groove back. Yeah, tomorrow is already Thursday. Yeah. Well, don't worry. Plenty of people are saving up for it, so it's not like you'll never hear it again. It was brilliant, except for all the people that didn't get it, that it was a joke, and by all the people, I mean exactly one person. Do it. That's gonna be hilarious. Ugh. So I ordered a hammock to put my stuffed animals in because right now they're just like on a shelf and the cats keep knocking them over. So I'm gonna upgrade them into a hammock, so that we can get more because I like stuffed animals and you know what? Fuck it, I'm an adult. So there will be a stuffed animal hammock soon. Mostly for, my Pokemon stuffed animals, but whatever. Thank you. It is not at all unique. There are just a bunch of specifically for toys hammocks, and I was even able to get one with blue netting, so that's exciting. Oh, I would like to not fight the tiger. How about we don't fight the tiger and pretend that we did? Oh, sorry, I gotta kill these little assholes, though. No, it's a much darker blue than the curtains, but it will match the Seahawks flag. And actually, I put the Seahawks flag back up because Aki tore it down. And it was when I put it back up that I was like, oh, I should get a hammock for the for the Pokemon toys because I'm gonna buy, like I said, that new one that is like a cute Valentine's Day one. Sorry, I just have to kill these assholes. I'm contractually obligated. Yeah, I appreciate the inspiration too because our apartment is very quickly getting full up. And I gotta get a bunch of those bird paintings as well that I was showing you earlier. I mean, they are really cool, but they're also really expensive. She's talking about the Red Mage NPC, who I've also trained with. Also, I found these crackers that are basically made with cocaine. Here, I'm gonna put them in front of the camera so you can see them. They're so good. I just want to die. I could eat a whole box in one sitting. I could eat 2 boxes in one sitting. They are so good. There's a couple of flavor variations, but these ones are my favorite. They are freaking hilarious. I love them. So, Kane, are you familiar with the paintings of birds that have like weird phrases on them, like "I'd sell you to Satan for 1 corn chip"? So that guy has like a bunch of paintings, and they all have just really funny names. Yeah, kick his ass, Alize. Rip. Vision time. Haven't had one of these in a while. Wow, this woman's horrible. Don't make me sympathize with her. I'm not gonna sympathize with her. Wow, Alize. Rude. You can't just tell people they were zoning out. Close enough. Ooh, that one looks cool. Karina was up on top of the cupboards and she almost fell off, and it was very funny. Oof. Sorry. My throat's not okay. Sorry about that. Oops. Wow, rude. Well, he was easily talked around. At least we get to blow things up. Oh, hey, Mama. Are you gonna get in the bed? She fell. Hey, Mama, are you gonna lay down? You should lay down. No, come back. Mama, come lay down. Someone redeem a treats. Here you go. Good job, Parker. Nerd is always quick with the boop. Mama, give me a boop. Ooh, I'm getting murdered. Boop. There you go, Mama. Mama. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. How's that? How's that, Mama? Mama, why don't you lay down? Nerd, are you here in chat? Okay, fair. Can you make me some coffee? No, no, stay in the bed, Mama. Stay in the bed. That is a very grumpy sitting down. Very grudgingly on camera. Also, I don't want to have to deal with the mess of a third cat, but I'm still really jealous of Animesh getting a cat. Can I just kick this guy in the balls? Honestly. Look at that ear twitch. Good girl, Mama. You have a nice sleep. How's that, Mama? Yeah. You like that, don't you? What a good girl. Karina is the best baby. I'm not very convinced by that, but okay. Oh, bread. Boo. But yeah, we got that Pikachu from Nerd's mom. It was a joke gift, and I was like, hello, I like this. I love Mimikyu. We do have one Mimikyu doll, but I will absolutely be buying another Mimikyu doll once I have the toy hammock. I smell a dungeon coming up. I'm excited. I love my stupid Zagreus I'm evil now face. Alright, 3. I can smell the coffee. I should have made a thanks nerd emote instead. Bread says thanks nerd. Are you? You can use my orange marmalade. Nerd's out of jelly, by the way. You can use my marmalade, it's fine. Ugh. I don't want to know how old that is. Hey, Ashen Hat, how's it going? Also, everyone can see the bit badge that I have set up because it's awesome. So we're doing Ashen Hat, the main story quest, in Final Fantasy today, as we do every Wednesday when I feel like it. Oh, poor Ian. Oh, nice. I'm glad you're addicted to Hades. That is my weekend game. Because, usually people come to my stream just to sort of chill and have something nice going on in the background while they're working. And when I play Hades, I am very loud. So I'm extremely the opposite of chill. I have been itching to play Hades all week. I might do some tomorrow, like early afternoon before stream. Or I will stream it, but I'll do it before the Gravity Shift stream and just not talk so I don't ruin my throat. Because my throat's already a little bit iffy today, so we'll see. Can you put more cream in this? Either flavor, I don't care. Rip. Good job, KG. Use a fork or a knife or something. You don't have to peel it off from around the outside. You can just cut it on the inside. That's what I do. I mean, not like that, but yeah, that's the idea. Persimmon bow. Whoa, look at this thing! This is nasty! I love it! Thank you, you're the best. Thanks, nerd, for the second time. Ian, what are you up to? Also, Ashenhat, I don't think you were here for any of the announcements, but the giant Marit plush is actually out of stock and it's unavailable right now on the Nintendo store, and I don't know if they're going to restock it. So if it's not back in stock by the time the timer runs out on my donation tracker, I'm just going to get other Pokemon plushies. There are some 19-inch sleeping Evolutions that are super adorable, especially the Sylveon, who is my favorite, and then, you know, Espeon and Vaporeon. So probably pick up some of those. And there's like freaking Gengar exercise leggings that are just excellent that I also want. So I will be very sad not to have the meme plush, but the other options are still good.
May I present the Blue Kojin's emissary?
Also, fun fact, they call him the Blue Kojin even though he is clearly green. As mentioned, green is an extremely modern color in Japan, and they didn't have a word for it until recently. So if you ever hear something like directly translated as green, it's most likely that they're talking about the color of blue, which is blue and green in Japanese, ao. And then midori, which is the color for green that they use now, the modern color, is used much less frequently. So that's your fun fact for the day.
Thank you for coming, Sora. Doubtless you have already been informed of our plans and the role we would have your people play. However, I seek your counsel as a Kojin of the Blue. Be it by spell or siegecraft, could your forces destroy the underwater foundations of Doma Castle's outer wall?
Explosives, coupled with a few incantations. Yes, that might produce sufficient force. Such a thing could indeed be done.
Then I wish to revise the plan. Instead of assisting the Confederacy in securing the Enclave, I would have the Kojin advance upstream beneath the water and breach a segment of the outer wall.
Also, I gotta show you guys the giant mug that Nerd filled with coffee for me. Look at it. It's bigger than Karina.
My lord, the castle is a sacred symbol, the very heart of our nation. To destroy it is unthinkable, unconscionable.
Hey, Mama.
You cannot do this.
Who's a beautiful girl?
I can and I will if it improves our chances. By flooding the castle, we remove the better part of their forces from the field and force Yotsuyu to retreat to the highest levels of the keep. Tell me that is not a worthwhile trade.
Also, Ashenhat, my friend Zabogo, who's in the Discord now, he is a speedrunner for Hades. He's not super great yet, but he's in the top 150, I think, and he's doing a fist build, which I'm sure you know is not like the ideal speedrun build. So you should check him out and say hi. He is a really cool dude.
think of this battle, of victory here and now. For without that, we have no future.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure he would love to talk about Fist, which is very strange and not a good way to say that, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Unfortunately, he is on the West Coast, and I go to bed at like 8 p.m. Eastern, so he is still at work when I am.
Once we receive word from our Korjin allies,
Ooh,
we
nice.
shall set our plans in motion. We shall fight.
But yeah,
and we shall prevail.
I go to bed when he is just getting off work, so we unfortunately don't get to hang out much, but he is one of honestly the coolest people I know. And it's been really funny watching, Brett and everyone get to know him because they're meeting Zabogo and like learning who he is as a person, and then they look over at me and they're like, it all makes so much sense now. Hey, West Coast, best coast, can't blame you. If I could, I would have moved back to Washington State immediately. I hate it here. Does what make dollars? Oh, yeah. I mean, with how much he and I are similar, yes, it does make dollars. I need to introduce him to mine and Nerds and Bread's friend Mintleaf because Mintleaf and I are basically the same person, and therefore I know Zabogo would love him. Well, the coffee's making me feel better. That's good. The coffee is definitely making my throat feel better, which is good. Also, it's really funny to me that me and Bread collect so many teachers that we're friends with. Oh, I was gonna get the bow! Dang it.
You're awake. I was just, well, they threw me out.
Well, they threw me out.
Told me I needed to get some sleep. Ready for the big day. Not long now, eh? I'm nervous, of course, but
I mean, teachers are the best, and I really appreciate all of the hard work that they do. It's just a little bit funny how many there are
finally,
that we're really close to.
something's gonna change, you know? Really, really change. And when the dust is settled, we'll see what we've won and what we've lost.
Because, like, Kane and Curfy are both teachers, and then Zabogo's a teacher, and
I won't let it be for nothing.
I think we have at least one more, and then Mintleaf's wife is a teacher.
Right. Off to bed.
That's fair. I'm not 100% sure at what school Zabogo currently teaches at, but he at least used to teach at a school that was specifically for children with autism and other, neurodivergent things going on that make them less successful in the quote-unquote standard classroom. And so that's sort of his forte, is to teach students with different ways of learning. And, one of the many, many reasons that I admire him, aside from the fact that he's, phenomenal.
Ha! Another restless soul. Come, come.
Raise a glass to
Raise a glass to
freedom. Well, I have a lot of feelings about the education system, and mostly those feelings all come back to the fact that quote unquote neurotypical is just a word for people whose brains are easy to manipulate under capitalism and that make capitalism work. Because,
We are flooding the
you know,
castle tomorrow, and that's the end of it.
in actual functioning societies where, everyone is taken care of and jobs are attributed to the people who are really best to do them, people who think differently, either via autism or ADHD, they are better at different tasks and better at different ways of learning and can be just as successful in, their own spheres. And it's stupid to treat everyone as if they have to fit in the capitalism mold. But we live in capitalist hell, so that's what we're stuck with. And I say that as someone who, got straight A's and had a 3.5 in a math and physics double major before I had to quit school for, medical leave.
And the subsequent imprisonment of your father.
I had this moment when I was a freshman in high school, and a friend of mine came up to me, and she was literally in tears, and she was like, I don't understand how you got such a great grade on this project. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know that I have been working on this every single day since it was assigned. I have put so much time and so much effort into it, and you got a better grade than me, and you did it last night, didn't you? And I was like, oh. Yeah, how come you didn't get a better grade? Like, it's not fair to her that she can do literally everything right. She's putting all this time in. She's asking for help from people. She's doing everything and still not succeeding just because my brain works better for school than hers does. And, what does that teach her about the future? That no matter how hard she tries and what she does, that she's never going to succeed the way she wants to? It's stupid. It's terrible. Meanwhile, I don't get taught any, valuable study strategies or project management because up until, halfway through university, just winging it the night before literally worked for me.
So fit to grant this shameful creature, this failure, another chance to serve a greater purpose.
Yeah, schools are very much an industrial revolution thing.
Thank you for pitying an old fool.
So, I mean, I can see and I know how it came to be, but that shouldn't be what we have to live with. We have progressed past the point of needing to live in capitalist hell, if there was ever a time when we needed it, quote unquote.
Cause to shed them, be they for joy or despair. Even that sounds morose. We who yet walk the path should not think too much on the destination. When the hour arrives, we shall welcome what comes with open arms.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I can't imagine how grueling it was just trying to get those C pluses. Like,
All debts will be repaid. On that you have my word. But first we must
it really makes me angry
No?
how much people have to struggle and how horrible they feel going to school. Like, I love school. I love school. I would just go back and take classes for the rest of my life if I could. It is so much fun to me. It is just a glorious experience. And I feel like it should be like that for everyone. Everyone should have a learning experience that they enjoy and that they benefit from. And, especially, now that we can have like an iPad in every student's hand, there is no reason for us to keep using these old, horrible, quote unquote, neurotypical styles of teaching. YouTube actually many years ago held a conference like for teachers and online education creators, and they talked about sort of new ways of learning that hopefully we were going to start moving into as time progressed, that really focused a lot on technology, because with a couple of apps it's really easy to find out what ways work better for what students and how to keep the class moving along without leaving anyone behind and not holding anyone back, because everyone's learning is tailored specifically to them. Hold on, I'm gonna look up what this video is because it's actually very interesting. Well, it's interesting to me because I'm into this sort of thing, but maybe someone else will also find it worth their time. Yeah, here we go.
Hello, Internet. Recently, YouTube...
So here is a video about it, and I think it's really interesting. Also, speaking of people using my stream as background noise, the background noise that I typically use, it falls into a couple of categories. The big one is always, true crime, and I have a current true crime podcast that I'm, binging right now and going through. But the other thing I do is I watch a lot of educational YouTube videos in the background, and I just absorb a bunch of knowledge that way. And, I don't have good grasps of it, but I have enough that I know what to Google when I want to know more about it. And it's like, you know what? I think, it's got some keywords. I know what this is. I can move on from here. And I kind of highly recommend that sort of strategy as well. But the other thing I was going to say, that I was distracted by the cutscene. The current podcast I'm listening to, obviously with true crime, a lot of times people who present this information will go into the background of the murderers or, the criminals who have done whatever they've done, sort of to show people how they came to be at this point. But this one really, really has an emphasis on the fact that, first of all, it doesn't, glorify the criminals at all. It doesn't in any way try to excuse them for what they've done. But what it does focus on is helping you understand how this came to happen. And therefore, it's like, if we had these social services, if we had proper schooling, if we had all of this, maybe these horrible crimes wouldn't have happened. Because a lot of times, these criminals do have... they're not neurotypical. Let's just put it that way. They have these differences in the way that they think, and, they get mistreated because of that. Autistic children absolutely suffer more child abuse than quote-unquote neurotypical children. I have a good friend. She has an eating disorder where she can only eat about 20 foods. If it's not one of those 20 foods and she tries to put it in her mouth, she will be violently ill. She cannot eat it. She can't force herself to eat it. It is a nightmare for her. She lives in actual hell because she can only eat these 20 foods. And obviously, there's no balanced diet there. There's no good nutrition. And she really struggles with that. And the reason that she has that is because her older brother is severely autistic. And back then, it wasn't getting diagnosed at all. So all that their parents knew is that if they try to feed their son this food, he will just go into a tantrum that will not end. And nothing that they do will soothe this tantrum because they didn't know anything about autism. They didn't know how to calm him down. They didn't know how to come up with alternatives that he would actually eat. They didn't know how to do any of that. And so then by the time my friend came along, they were like, okay, you're just going to eat these 20 foods and that's it, because that's what your brother will eat, and we don't know how to deal with those tantrums, and we can't deal with that, so we're just going to do what we already know works. And since they didn't know he was autistic, they just thought all children were like that, so obviously they treated her the same way, and that's how she ended up with this eating disorder. I mean, I get what you're saying about how the struggle is what makes you you. I mean, a big part of why I am the way I am and why I say a lot of the things I say is because I was I was literally tortured as a child. It's absolutely, the stories that I have of my childhood are beyond horrific. Like, let's just say that the the nicest version is that I was strangled regularly enough that I had a severe trigger for about 15 years where I couldn't have anything close to my neck. I couldn't wear turtlenecks, I couldn't wear scarves, I couldn't wear necklaces, because anything close to my neck would just have that massive fight or flight response, because I was just so afraid of being choked again. Um, and then, like, I have trouble eating as well. Like, I don't have an eating disorder, but I'll get this feeling where I'm like, oh, if I'm going to eat this particular food, it'll make me sick, so I can't eat that. I have to eat something else for dinner. And the reason for that is because I'm very familiar with my body, and thanks to my various illnesses, a lot of like things will some days make me really sick and some days I'll be fine with it. And those days that it'll be really sick, I have a sense that, oh, this will be a really sick day. And I have a lot of trauma surrounding throwing up, because when I would throw up, I would get my face shoved in it. Like, like you do to a dog, which you shouldn't do, by the way, because they don't understand that. As a child, I understood it, but I couldn't, you can't control when you're throwing up. But at the same time, I still got my face shoved in it. And so a lot of what I do is to just make sure that nobody else has to suffer the way that I did. And obviously, at the time, I didn't think anything was wrong. I was like, oh, this is just what all kids go through. And Zabogo can tell you that there were these times in university where I would just be casually telling a story about my childhood, and he's like, wait, hold on, back up. Your mother said what to you? And then the rest of the night would just be the whole group going, oh my God, what the fuck happened? How does this happen? Like, they absolutely speechless, because, I didn't know. Also, so fun fact about carbs. Like, first of all, I'm severely lactose intolerant most of the time, so no milk for me. But I love carbs, and apparently one of the possible symptoms of ADHD is that your brain treats carbs and bread as just like pure dopamine. And so what'll happen sometimes if I have like particularly good bread, I'll start eating it and just zone out. I will go straight back to lizard brain TK and just like munch on this bread without even being conscious of anything around me. Yeah, it's a very interesting symptom. Yes, Parker has witnessed this. So, I don't know if you're familiar with King's Hawaiian bread rolls, but I had a pack of those, and Parker is Canadian, and so she had never had them before. So, we're going, and I give her one of the rolls, and then I am just eating them like 3 at a time, pure zoning out as we're walking back to my apartment. And then I get to the bottom of the pack, and there's like 24 rolls in this pack. She has had one. I get to the bottom of the pack, and I'm, tearing it off to eat the last chunk all in one. And then I pull one out in my left hand, and I sort of look at it, and then I look at Parker, and I was like, oh, did you want another one? And then I'm just like mindlessly eating with the other hand. It was not fuck you percent humidity. It was not that humid while you were here. It gets much worse. And it's much better here than it was in North Carolina. So But yeah, so Ashen Hat, speaking of terrible pasts, in my book Gravity Shift, which I will be continuing to read on Thursday, one of the sort of major things is that the main character is in like a really toxic and abusive relationship, and it's him sort of finally recognizing that and coming to terms with it shouldn't be like this. It should not be like this. This is horrible. I should not have to live a life like this. And you know, we put that in there specifically so that maybe someone will look at that and then think back to their own relationship and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm dealing with that shit too, and it shouldn't be like this. I've actually been doing so. I'm chronically underweight because of, like I said, my issues with eating. But I've been a lot better ever since I learned another ADHD thing, which will be like your brain will say, "Hey, you're hungry," and you go, "Yeah, you know what? I am hungry," and then it just stops there. Like it doesn't get to "You're hungry. You should eat." It just gets to "You're hungry." And as soon as I realized that my brain isn't going to send the signal for, by the way, since you're hungry, you should eat. It's like once I get the I'm hungry signal, I'm like, oh, right. I'm not going to think to eat, so I should think to eat for myself actively rather than subconsciously. And then I do a little bit better about managing to eat that way. But, you know, basically our brains are like dogs. You have to just treat them like puppies and figure out what tricks make your brain do what you want it to do. Yeah, don't worry about it. So let's see. I have a tin of cookies. I have those crackers that I showed earlier that are absolute crack cocaine. I have about 30 Ferrero Rochers, which I don't care, Parker. I'm just going to keep saying it wrong. And then I have some regular chocolate bars. And then I have snack packs of Teddy Grahams. And then I have pita crackers. But the pita crackers are reserved for my goat cheese, which I need to bring over. Yeah, for me, all of the bad stuff it's a pretty long ways away. Like, I ran away when I was 13, and I was able to, thankfully, live with my non-custodial parent after that. And then eventually that didn't go well either, because my non-custodial parent was not good at dealing with, you know, a severely damaged teenager, but, you know, things happened. So I don't know what'll fit your particular sensitivities, but another thing that works really well for me is like really firm seedless grapes or baby carrots, because you can just sort of gnaw on the baby carrots and it's like, it has like a good mouthfeel like a cracker, and you can just sort of eat them mindlessly like I do with crackers. So that's sort of my pro tip for I need more fiber in my diet, is to gnaw on baby carrots. Sugar snap peas are really good for that too. Ooh, that's right, I have pears now. I should have a pear for lunch. Well, yeah, I mean, even if you have good parents, it's still really difficult, you know, because you said that you're autistic. It's even for good parents, it's still difficult to deal with that, and things that are absolutely not abuse will still go into your mind as if it is, just because your mind isn't very nice to you. Yeah, water with feeling. I like it. I like it. Also, I love bananas, but I can't have them anymore because I'm horribly allergic. But I'm all aboard the banana train. Bananas and apples, neither of which I can eat anymore, which is very frustrating when I'm trying to get smoothies, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Fun fact, if you eat a polar bear's liver, you will die from too much vitamin A.
Understood. Wish us luck.
Also, too much vitamin A is one of the many reasons that you get really sick if you're a cannibal. See, this is what I learned from true crime.
Good job they made a break in us.
What are you waiting for? Move out!
It was so funny the other day when I had my doctor's appointment. It was an E appointment. I didn't go in. But I had my doctor's appointment. My doctor was like, so I have in my notes here that you get dehydrated in the winter, but that you're aware of that. So you're drinking a lot of water, right? Because your kidneys need the help. You're taking a lot of medication. I was like, yes, I'm drinking a lot of water. Fun fact, the average person gets more radiation from eating bananas than they do from x-rays in any given year. It goes like sources of radiation in the average human's life. It's like bananas, x-rays, and then airplane rides. But airplane rides might even be above x-rays.
Looks like we've got their attention.
And it's actually a really big problem for flight attendant staff that they get radiation poisoning after working for too long. Oh, sorry, the Zayla are back. I love my Aura family. This is a cutscene that's actually interesting, so I'm only paying Chad half of my attention. I'm still disappointed that this guy didn't hook up with that other girl. Oh, war. To wield power. To make men kneel before you. There's no better feeling.
A pity I must share this pleasure with a feral dog of a Dothar.
See? She needs to be the one for him. Look at them.
You fear that you will put the sun in shade. Those are for you. Go, claim your prey.
They're destined. What the fuck weird ass Imperial garbage is this? Final Fantasy, why are you so fucking weird? That is some slow cannons.
Come to me! Come to your death! With each that falls, my soul soars higher!
Come on, Magni, you know she's the one for you. Don't deny it.
Fall not behind. Make an offering of their steel to Father Azim.
Oh, Ashenhat, did you ever see the murder train? Yeah, I let Velo pick which new emoji to add, and she was like, that one, I want the murder train. And I was like, okay, we can have the murder train.
My lord, the barrier!
That it should fall so soon. Truly, our allies seem determined to surpass each other.
The Magitech field is down. I repeat, the Magitech field is down.
Also, for anyone who got here, even though I talked about stickers earlier, I did send them to the printer, and then the printer sent back to me, here's some changes you should make so that they will cut better. And so I made those corrections, and that'll go out tonight. So stickers are in the process. Woohoo! I'm super excited. I just can't wait to put them on my water bottle. Also, my life has been so much better since I finally started like putting stickers on things rather than just keeping sticker sheets around until they got crunched and were unusable. Oh, also, I gotta show you guys my favorite sticker of all time, at least for now. This is the back of my cell phone. Look at it, it's so cute. He's just giving a little peek.
The wall is breached. The Kojin
There we
will
go,
not be
Mama.
outdone.
Are you having a good slip?
Our allies have set the
Also,
stage.
I gotta make all you
we must
cat
take the
owners super
castle.
jealous. So, Karina was sitting in my lap yesterday and she was purring. And when she gets happy, she doesn't exactly need, but she will stretch out her toes, which, you know, sends her claws out, and she was digging into my thigh, and it was quite painful. So I just started clipping her nails right where she was sitting, and she didn't stop purring until I got to the second paw, and then she didn't leave at all. She just let me clip all her nails.
The lower levels are already flooded and the water is still rising.
So I am the cat whisperer.
So I gathered. He would tear the whole thing down, all for the promise of freedom. A noble sacrifice for the lastest performance of a fool. Speaking of which, how fares my brood?
The procedure was carried out as instructed by Lord Owlet. By all indications, it was a success.
Is that so? Then he may yet be of some use. Devotees of vengeance should rightly pursue their cause unto the bitter end, don't you think?
Am I finally gonna get to kill this guy? I'm so tired of him.
Until the
Not
last
Yotsuyo, the big guy.
fade, leaving naught but ash.
Oh, well, I mean, cat sleeping on your chest is probably pretty rare for you.
If Doma falls, none shall be spared.
Karina, unfortunately, must be too cold because she not only will sleep on me, but if I roll over, she will just rearrange herself and go back to sleeping on me, which is great, except that my poor brittle bones cannot handle that much weight. It's like being pregnant, honestly.
Again they come to make you kneel, to make you grovel and suffer. But you have endured their worst and survived. You know their tricks. They will not find a flower simply.
At least it's Karina that does it and not Aki because he is twice her size. Oh, that's good. Well, I was just meaning that most cats don't really sleep on people, at least not most that I know of. Though I did have one in college who would sleep directly on top of my chest, like right under my chin. And then the alarm would go off every morning and he would freak out and dig his claws into my chest. And I'd be like, I can't turn off the alarm because you're laying on top of me. But he was too scared to move, and I would just be like, please, just, why do we have to do this every day? Well, I mean, who wants to get along with humans when you can get along with cats? Speaking of cats, loafing around with Bread's roommate, because Bread's moving out, he bought a place, but his roommate is going to get himself his own cat, and I offered to help because I want to help. I want to pick out a cat, even if it's not going to be my cat. And it looks like he's leaning towards an orange tabby, and so I'm super excited. Oh, oh, this sounds like a dungeon! This sounds like a dungeon! I thankfully have never had to deal with a cat on my face, especially because I'm a little bit allergic. But I am only very mildly allergic to my cats, and I am extremely allergic to Bread's cat, Stinky, but my cats, I only have a very mild reaction. Well, Parker has an orange tabby, and he is definitely a cat, though he is a bit of an asshole. He is a huge drama queen. It sounds like a dungeon. Yes, it is! I knew it. Okay. This one. Alright, let's see how bad I do. Beyonce. Oh my god! A raccoon? Oh my goodness. That is too much. So, one time, my aunt was in town, and we were getting ready to go to Disneyland with my cousins. And my stepmom comes out of the house, and she is swearing up a storm. And I see that she has a cat in her arms. It was our cat, not like a random cat. But she's got the cat in her arms, and then one of the dogs, this giant German Shepherd, 250-pound dog, is trying to get at the cat. And then I notice the cat has both of his paws covering its mouth. And then I look even closer. There's a fucking wing sticking out of the cat's mouth because it found a bird. And so the dog was trying to get the bird from the cat. And obviously the cat wanted to keep the bird for itself because he's a shit. And meanwhile, my stepmom is dealing with this, so she ends up yeeting the cat into the front lawn, which I don't agree with having outdoor cats, by the way. And if you have an outdoor cat, I'm going to murder you. Bring your cat inside. Don't let them be outside in the danger, but this was years ago. Anyway, she yeets the cat outside, and then the bird pops out of its mouth and goes flying off to freedom. But yeah, don't have outdoor cats. That's not safe for anyone. It's not good for the cats. It's not good for the ecosystem. Don't do it. Keep your cat inside. Ow. Ow. Don't mind me. Hey, we lived. I believe you because my cats can open many things. However, in response to that, I would say get a catio and a cat door. If your cat is escaping outside, then it doesn't have enough, what's the word? Enrichment. Which I know is difficult because cats are assholes, but it's really dangerous for the cat to be outside, and it's really bad for the ecosystem for the cat to be outside. Yeah, a catio, it's like a mesh playpen that you put right outside the screen door. Like, you attach it to the screen door so that if you open the door, you just go to the catio. You don't go, like, outside. What is this? I don't remember this button at all. Oh, I don't like that. Really don't like that. Sorry, this is my first time in this, so I'm, like, trying to pay attention to the fight while also watching chat. Yeah, it was, like I said, I had outdoor cats when I was a kid too, and I didn't know any better. But, so, okay, so, Parker came out here in order to pick up V because V is Karina's son. And so we went to the vet together to get V, like, his last shots or whatever and paperwork so that she could take him across the border. And as she was clipping the nails of, I think Aki, because Aki was there too, she mentioned that her cat was an outdoor cat, and then Parker just saw me losing my goddamn mind trying not to yell at her right there. Because who would know better that you can't have cats be outdoors than a vet tech, honestly. I was so mad. Like, I even had a declawed cat when I was really young because I didn't know shit. So, funny story about the declawed cat. He moved out and started, so he was also an outdoor cat. He started living with one of our neighbors, and we were like, oh, maybe he left because he didn't like living with these giant dogs, because we had the aforementioned 250-pound German Shepherd, and then we also had a Husky. And then we come to find out his new house also has giant dogs in it. So the giant dogs aren't the problem. It's just that he didn't like us because, you know, we had fucked with him when he was declawed. Which, you know, I regret now. I would never treat a cat like that nowadays. But nobody told child me that you don't treat animals that way. I was just teasing him like I would tease my brother, and the cat didn't appreciate that. But yeah, so he just straight up moved out and lived with another family. But he was funny. He used to be a fucking thief. And one time he brought back an entire Taco Bell burrito fully in the wrapper. I'll give her treats when I'm out of this dungeon because I don't want to die. So anyway, he brought back a Taco Bell burrito fully in the wrapper. He would bring back, like, children's socks. He brought back several feather pens. But I think the best one is he brought back a whole turkey leg. Just straight up giant turkey leg. Bigger than him. How he got it back? I don't know. Okay, so when I say that we would fuck with him, like, he would have his paws out and we would tap his paws. And then obviously he would try to scratch us, but couldn't get anywhere with that because he was declawed. But, you know, animals don't like having their feet touched because it makes them feel really vulnerable. We weren't doing anything, like, really mean to them. Oh, no! Yeah, one of the cat that would bring back all of the stuff, he got stuck in the clothes dryer once because he just went in there to sleep on the laundry. And my stepmom is like, oh, this towel is still wet, I'm going to run it again. But he had, like, burrowed himself under the stuff that was in the dryer, so she didn't see him, and she started it with him in there. And she heard, like, him getting knocked around in there, and is like, why is this happening? There's no shoes in this load. So she stopped it and checked, and there was the poor cat. He wasn't crying. He wasn't making a sound. He was dead silent. He never meowed. He was a large cat. He was about Aki sized. Like he wasn't fat. He was just a bit. He was just big. And it was really funny because the German Shepherd remembers when the cat was bigger than him, and so the German Shepherd, you know, this 6 feet long, 250-pound dog, deference to this little 15-pound cat. Also, eventually we got a, what's the word? A Saint Bernard. And the German Shepherd basically trained the Saint Bernard, which was absolutely wild. Like, the German Shepherd would be like, okay, well, you can't go on the couch. You can't do this, you know. You got to be nice to the cats. And it was just really kind of crazy to watch. But, you know, German Shepherds are really, really smart. Also, Huskies are dumb as a bag of rocks unless you have more than one. If you only have one, they're idiots. Who gets the broccoli? Ooh, I don't want to be here. Ooh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, that sounds like a good pup. I miss my corgi a lot, and if I ever get another dog that I'm like choosing what kind of dog it is, I want a corgi because I love corgis. But they are also in that camp of A, a work dog, so you got to keep them really, really, really occupied, and B, just way too smart for their own good. Parker has a lot of experiences with German Shepherds, and she didn't know that she was a cat person until she got V, because her mom and her sister are both very, very allergic to cats, so she was never able to have cats before. But she is definitely a cat person. And it was funny because my husband, quote unquote, didn't like cats until we got them because he was scratched when he was a child, and then ever since then he was like, oh, I don't like cats. And then we have cats and he's like, cats are the best. And he accepts that Karina is the all-powerful best cat in the world, as he should. There are few people more cat people than you. I feel like Brett is actually a dog person who happens to also love cats. Yeah. Well, that's part of why the Corgi is so good, because they're only like 30 pounds and they're pretty small, so you can just carry them around and yeet them. What's really funny is that if you take them to the dog park, they'll try to herd the other dogs, and so they'll like run between the legs of these much larger dogs while herding them. It's so funny. Oh, is this that guy? Do I finally get to kill him? Oh. So my cats like being brushed, which is good. Anyway, I brushed Karina like very vigorously last night, and she is just so soft right now. It's great. How nice of them to wait for me.
Rip and tear! Boom! We go together!
Uh-oh. I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look good. Holy shit! That hurt my baby face.
Die, die, die! Die, die, die! We go together! La, la, la!
I don't know where we're supposed to be going. Oh, so it falls off of me and I have to run away from it. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Hella. Yeah, fuck this guy, finally! Thank you. I appreciate the Hellas. I heard this chick gets a redemption arc, so I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Have you aught to say for yourself? For what you have done to our people? Your people?
My people, he says. The precious lordling beloved by all come to confront the wicked witch. My parents taught me no better. They worked me from dawn to dusk like an ox or an ass or some other beast of burden. Until, that is, my brother spied a chance to transform the family fortunes. And so I was married to a vicious old drunk who beat me.
Oh,
And
interesting.
when I pleaded for help, I was told to grin and bear it. For the family, for him, for everyone's sake.
Wow. That's not what I thought.
Not to notice, but they knew. They knew. What did it matter?
Good morning, Velo.
I was nothing to them. Less than nothing. I wasn't of their flesh. I wasn't a fellow Domon. I wasn't even a person. I might just as well have been dead.
I have faith in you.
My husband passed away one day. And so I was sold off yet again to pay his debts. But this time, I found a way to live for myself. To survive. As a spy for the Empire.
Sorry, I'm like totally riveted on this cutscene. I will get back to you guys once it's
Those
over.
were the days when the scales first fell from my eyes. No longer would I be a slave to my parents or my husband or the pleasure house. I would be free and receive due compensation. That would be enough, I thought. Until I saw a doorman in the road, beaten and broken. My heart skipped a beat. Lying at my feet, groaning in agony, sobbing in despair. Powerless, helpless, hopeless. A vision forever seared into my soul. Oh! There was nothing I would not do to feel that joy again. To bend this cruel, twisted world to my whims. Now, having borne witness to my life's work, have you aught to say to me? "'Twas kind of you to lend me your ear, my lord. But now it is time for us to conclude our little tete-a-tete with a final game of chance. Who shall stand, and who shall fall? Let the die be cast."
This was her plan from the first, to bring the keep down on our heads.
Get fucked! Good job, KG.
I will remember your words. We must flee. Order our forces to withdraw.
Is anyone surprised? Really?
Go, my lord, while you still can. I cannot hold it forever.
No, we will not leave you behind.
Do your duty. Deliver Lord Hien and the others to safety. Now, forthwith. I shall manage on my
It looks
own.
like there's a whole lot of rubble like right behind his back that he can like rest the ceiling on. Wow! Wow. What a bitch. That's what you get for not killing her, Hien.
No. No one leaves. Not you or anyone else.
Why is he bleeding from the mouth when he was shot in the arm? That's not how that works. What is biology? Oh, okay. It looked like the blood was coming from his arm. Also, Velo, let me know if you're up for some Guardian. I am heal spec right now.
Do not despair, my friend. Never before have I felt so alive. My eyes unclouded my...
Yeah, I was gonna. That's why I brought it up, because Ju Elong bleeds from the mouth in every drama he's in. And he dies in like half of them. Also, fun fact, Slutlon's actor is apparently like stupid rich and doesn't have to be an actor. He just does it for fun. So he just like shows up to casting interviews in like old sweatpants and a ratty t-shirt and is like, "Hey, what's up?"
Be proud, my friend. Be proud.
I am, Shun. More than you know.
Why are we all still standing under the fucking collapsing ceiling? Couldn't we talk to him from outside the collapse zone? I mean, Gosetsu has to be part Ro, right, Velo?
You cast the die. Gambling was never my vice.
Oh, okay. He has very human coloring, so I've never been quite sure. I mean, obviously the model is Rogadin, but...
How merciful the gods that I should find you in time. Kosetsu?
Oh, Serena, you're so cute. Velo, look what I added. I'm evil now. I mean, it is super garbage, but I still love it. I spent like 10 minutes on it.
Eyes forward, Serena. That was his wish.
I will deliver you to safety.
Unfortunately, that emoji is the last one I can add, because you can only add so many tiers of bit emojis. So... But I'm really happy with the bit badges. They came out as well as I wanted them to. Like, I was expecting it to be good, so I'm not surprised that it came out good. Good old Alphino, never giving up on anyone. Ash. Oh, Mama, big yawn. Tell me, Velo, I want these ideas. Oh, I love it. I still want the rest of the Gosetsu backstory, because apparently he said at some point he was a traitor, so. That is a great caboose. There are too many emoji that I need to have and make. Also, I gotta get rid of something if Biggie gets rid of the Biggie Nope, because I can't lose Biggie Nope. I need it. I need it in my life. So if he replaces it with one of his new ones, I'm gonna have to put it in my channel somewhere. You look like shit. I like Tansui. He's cool and hot. Oh, I didn't give the treats. That's right, we got treats. Hey, Mama. Have some treats. There you go, baby girl.
We brought everyone here. You were the
There you
last
go,
to
kids.
arrive.
Hey, Curfy.
Thank you.
Be a good
You did
lurk.
the Confederacy a great debt.
I have waited 25 years for this moment. You owe us mood.
Also, you know I'm an adult because I spent all day going, oh, I want to vacuum. Who does that? Who thinks like that? Who am I becoming? Oh, I want to vacuum. It's like when I got that package from Parker and I was like, socks the best!
It's Lord Hien!
Lord Hien.
It's him! He lives!
I have a very nice vacuum, so I like vacuuming. So thank you for Bread for getting me the vacuum.
Some few words of encouragement would not go amiss, my lord.
Right. Yes, of course.
Ugh, yeah, I have to cross the street to do my laundry. It's a real pain in the ass. I told my husband that when we move, my number one priority is in-unit washer dryer, and then the number two priority is no carpet, and then number three is dishwasher.
Forgive me. This is rather more daunting than I had anticipated.
Look at him! He's so vulnerable.
Be strong. Wish me luck.
Your hands?
We are a sorry lot, are we not? Tired, dirty.
I love dishwashers, and I would use it every day.
And ash. The people pushed to the
Brad also has a dishwasher and doesn't use it, and it drives me crazy. Because of the way that my hips and ankles and knees have pain, like I can't stand like that in one place. I have a really thick mat in my kitchen too, and I just can't do it. It's just super painful. So it's like I wash 2 dishes and then I have to take a break, and then I go back and I wash 2 more and then I have to take a break.
And yet, we won. The perseverance to endure decades of oppression. The will to carry on the legacy of those we have lost. These were the bonds that held us together and gave us the strength.
So when I had a dishwasher, I would run it probably once a week because I had, a full dish set for, 4 people. So, just use dishes all week and then, rinse it, put it in the dishwasher, and then end of the week run it. There you go.
The dawning of a new day. But, my friends, it will be a day of work.
My stomach churns imagining how much milk you drink. I can't do it.
So I ask you, have you yet the strength to stand?
Are you comfy, Mama? Oh my god, that is so much milk.
To rise up with me once more? Here and now?
Look at Ian, he's such a soft boy. Lee, why don't you like Ian? He's not a loser like Estinian. He's not a fucking disaster. And he's a prince. But no, she has bad taste. He is a huge mess.
This will not end with Doma. We will see to that, right, Lise?
Right.
Indeed, this is but the beginning. The tide is turning, and it shall soon bear us back across the seas and onward and to the next battlefield.
Leon has bad taste. We shouldn't judge her for her bad taste, but I absolutely will. what's really funny, me and Parker have this friend Kevin, and he is gay, and Kevin and I have several um, several men we find attractive that are very like that we both there's a handful that we both find attractive, but the rest of our tastes are completely opposite, and it is hilarious because one of us will be like, "Oh, look at this guy," and the other one will be like, "Well, I suppose if you like that one." I feel a little bit bad for Parker because her taste is every female character I've ever made. Hello, Serena. They just went off to war and then right back home. Parker actually named her black cat after one of my characters. Man, Tansui's such a little bitch. I love him. Just remind Kevin to do it. No, no. Honor and Duty is a Star Wars story that I wrote. No, Ashen thinks it's got some themes that they will find troubling, so we'll just let that one go. You know how it is. Oh my god. I have too much garbage. Oh, I could not get through Wheel of Time. I tried. I tried. It just did not happen. I did read about 90% of the Dragonlance books that were out at the time. Oh yeah, Ashen Hat. I remembered what you said. It's not polite to out someone else's trauma, which is why I phrased it the way that I did. Bello. If you read through the stuff on my Patreon, you will see that I have a great, great, great hatred for all things POV swap. And so you can imagine how well that didn't go when I was trying to read The Wheel of Time. I mean, obviously, I make exceptions because I've read, Lord of the Rings, and I've read all the, well, like I said, I've read like 80% of the Dragonlance books and, tons and tons of stuff. The Cleric Quintet. I'm not familiar with that. I used to be, like, really up on all things fantasy. But that was a long time ago. Forgotten Realms, yeah. One of my friends was, like, super, super, super into Salvatore when I was in university. And it was just something that I never started, and I was like looking down the barrel of some like 50 books, and like I already had Dragonlance under my belt, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna pass. By the way, this is a real instrument. So that's cool. Nice. I gotta admit, I really miss bookstores, and that's part of why I'm having trouble getting back to my Patreon stuff, because, like, without bookstores, I have less of an. It's harder for me to get back into reading physical books. There's more than two strings, but it's a traditional Mongolian instrument, so. Good morning, Spinster. How's it going? How are you doing today? I'm so hyped to see you here. Are you on your way to work? Lately, I've been reading books that I rented from the library on my phone, which is quite nice. And I highly recommend that if you have a library card, you get the Overdrive app so that you can read books. Thanksgiving Park, what is that? Yeah, that's fair, Velo. I actually used to be farsighted, but I read so many books that I made myself nearsighted, so that's fun. Alright, I think that we are going to call it here for today, because we finished the big battle and that whole arc and me cleaning out my inventory, and it has been a good 2.5 hours. Though I'm sorry that Spinster's not going to see much, but she's also like on her way to work, so not much of a downside here. Oh, that sucks, Ashen Hat. I hope that you can get glasses that are the correct prescription soon. I have really, really bad astigmatism, so without my glasses, I'm basically blind, especially at night. Right, I was gonna check here to see if anyone else is streaming. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Yeah, Ashen Hat, I understand that entirely. I'm actually kind of concerned because when my mom was my age, she went legally blind and had to get LASIK surgery because the glasses were just so thick and so expensive that they couldn't, like, even with the best materials at the time, they couldn't get them any, like, it was literally like a centimeter thick at the shallowest portion, and I'm not exaggerating. It was absolutely wild how thick her glasses were. And then within 2 years, she needed glasses again because her eyesight just kept deteriorating. And so I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to have to deal with that as I continue to age. And the fact that, you know, I'm already having trouble reading subtitles on the TV again gives me a little bit of anxiety. So here is hoping that that turns around kind of soon, especially since when I brought it up to my optometrist, they were like, oh, that's not a real thing. And I'm like, it is definitely a real thing because it happened to my mom and I literally saw it. There is no reason for someone who had LASIK to need eyeglasses again after 2 years. Like, maybe reading glasses, but they were not fucking reading glasses. I was really upset with them. But, you know, it's an optometrist, it's not an ophthalmologist. So what did I expect him to know? So anyway, I'm going to look for an ophthalmologist once the plague is over, and then that'll be what happens. Sorry, I'm trying to find someone to raid. Who we got? If anyone has a friend that is online that they would like me to raid, feel free to chime in now because I'm just like going through all of my discords trying to find someone. Yeah, it really is. Pro tip for, I don't know who that is, you'll have to type out their full name. Pro tip for anyone that's struggling to get the treatment that they need and they're not being taken seriously by doctors, go ahead and say to them, I want it noted in my chart that you refuse to test for X, Y, or Z, and then they legally have to write it down. And then if you're in the US, of course, you can then, the next day request your medical chart, which you are legally allowed to have, and they have to give it to you. And if it's not written down, that's a malpractice suit. So they're going to write it down. And nobody actually wants to write that shit down and prove that they're not doing anything. So they are going to end up doing more tests on you that way. Also, what you're going to want to do is exaggerate. If you're in pain, absolutely exaggerate it, because, we're all, at this point, you're all probably very used to the pain or tiredness or whatever you've got going on. And so, you're going to sort of undersell it because you're like, well, I can still function. No, you can't function. You're just used to this. Anyway, I am going to send all of you guys over to Chow Illustrations. Spam that otter love if you got him and tell him TK said hi. And I will see you guys next time.